Evening. Thanks for joining us. Cami is off tonight. As we near the presidential election, many are trying to predict the outcome. Here in Wisconsin, we may have our very own crystal ball right in our own backyard. Door County is the only county in a key swing state that has sided with the winning president, whether Democrat or Republican, since 1996. So why have registered voters there aligned with the nation for the past 7 presidential elections? Brittany Schmidt searched for that answer today. She joins us now in the studio with what she learned. Brittany.
Bill, that's the million-dollar question, right? Why is Door County so in tune with the country, siding with the winning candidate 7 straight presidential elections in a row? Well, we talked to both the Republican and Democrat chairs of Door County, and they both agree Door County is a very unique, made up of a diverse group of people, from artists to laborers to farmers to business owners. There are also a lot of transplants in the county, whether it be vacationers or retirees. Jill Kelly, a transplant from Chicago, believes it comes down to a community made up of people who are unafraid to support their candidates and talk about the issues like immigration, inflation, and reproductive rights. She says she has never seen so many yard signs before, neighbors with opposing yard signs actually sharing a property line.
But it's also indicative of the nature of the people who live here. They speak their mind. Whether you agree with them or not, they're going to tell you what they think, and they stand by it and they stand for it. And that diversity of opinion, I think, has really created a genuine discourse, between people, that you land up in the right spot because people are talking to each other. And I think that's why, maybe, part of the reason why Door County gets it right.
While the extra eyes on Door County add a little bit of pressure, both party chairs tell me this election is already high stakes, and they encourage everyone to get out and vote. Bill?